I'm Antoine Waterkeyn, welcome to Art Cologne. I'm showing here with Fred&Ferry gallery, together with Leyla Aydoslu. We have here a duo booth, and I'm very happy to be here. So we decided to put a big central piece in the middle to get a bit the attention. And this piece is in fact, this kind of pyramid structure is part of a series of three pyramid structures and one more apart that you will see later. So this, we could call them cutouts, are in fact, we could also call them theater props for a hypothetical theater play. So a theater play will never happen or exist. So now you see them presented this way, but normally when I have a solo show or a bigger exhibition, I would take different of these series of theater props and mix them together, mix all the stories together, shovel the cards, I call it shovel the cards, to make new composition, but then they are more presented like a theater depot, like a stockage of a theater. And this is important for me, the stockage, because there the pieces just are in rest and lie. They just are resting until the theater happens. It's like the time before the theater play, and for me the time before the theater play creates more possibilities, because then the viewer can come in and activate the theater play by its own. But every series, like this series, is based on a story, but the story doesn't need to be clear for the viewer. And here I started with the book of Victor Hugo, Le Notre Dame de Paris, the Hunchback, they say in English. And Victor Hugo was somebody who did a lot of research before he wrote books. And in this book there's a court of miracles, La Cour des Miracles. These were real places that existed in different medieval cities. It were in fact like favelas, where all criminals, all beggars, all prostitutes gathered and lived. And they had also a caste system, so there were kings following with vassals. Why was it called the Court of Miracle? Because the beggar who couldn't see or walk outside of the court suddenly could see or walk when he, so that's why miracle. Yeah, it were places where nobody dared to go, even the police at that time or the knights. And so here I started with this series. So this is there were already Romas in that time in Europe, and this is the Roma king, which I found a kind of Indian Roma image. And then that's what I always do, I mix the pieces, I cut them, so I still cut the cutouts in different figures that refer to their own cultural history or other references. So, for example, the Roma king has magical powers in the book. So downstairs I put this witch who's drawing this summon circle to summon demons. There's also a king or a vassal of the mutilated soldiers, or the pretending to be mutilated soldier, because you never knew. And he's represented in a book like a drunkard who likes to touch women, and there's a prostitute sitting on his lap. That was a difficult figure to find. I don't know if you know, I took then Falstaff, you know the book? That's also a drunk guy who likes to touch, a drunk knight who likes to touch women. And this is in fact Orson Welles playing Falstaff in Chimes in Midnight. And the under part is a series of the 8 big vices in medieval times, and one is gula, of eating and drinking too much. So this is why you have this Eberschwein in a wine tun, and the wine already coming out. So this is what I mean. They refer to each other, but they're different characters, and they're also painted in a different way. And here you have from the same series, that's also a nice one. It's avarice. I don't know how to call it in English when you don't like to spend money and you keep your money. So this is a begging frog, and he's so avar that he has his house on his back, because this is a mattress that I wanted to paint in a bit Mondrian way. Yeah, and then in the back you again have another witch. So yeah, there's all these interconnections.